All right, round 4, 3-0. Pretty good spot to be in. And down a couple minutes because I was finishing eating. I was kind of hungry. But our hand is pretty bad. Only one land. If it was 2-lander with a temple, I'd probably keep it. Could consider keeping it if I had a Wayfinder, as is, but I'm just going to mulligan. And our hand's pretty reasonable. So Soul of Theros in the opener, not really where you want it, but Temple of Malady probably means that the game's going to go pretty long, and I hope I don't regret being down 2 minutes, like my last round opponent. See the Unwritten's probably going to be pretty good. Yeah, I think it's worth keeping. It is our second 6. And if he's like a normal Abzan deck, it's going to be really good. If he's the aggro deck, which is what it looks like, then it won't be great. Might end up being a little bit on the slow end, but I think it's still fine. I mean, it's basically what we want to be doing in this matchup anyway. So I kind of wish our first hand was good enough to keep, because it had 2 removal spells and a Rhino. Pretty glad that my opponent is not playing an Anafenza and hopefully just doesn't have another Fleecemane line as a follow-up, but Heir of the Wilds, okay. Also a pretty good one. And we have a downfall, but no double black. Maybe we can hit that next turn, but basically just want to get this Anafenza out there and try to block something. And then play Courser next turn and get a shot at hitting a free land. I'd much rather have Courser in play over the course of a few turns than Anafenza. Ooh, and an Urborg for me. Thank you. So this could be a Bile Blight here, but I'm certainly fine making this trade. If it's an Abzan Charm, then we just get to Downfall's Lion. That's also fine. So it was Bile Blight. And another Heir as a follow-up. So we're doing okay. Basically just okay, though. If his 5th land comes into play untapped, he can Monstrous this main, and then make his 2 heirs ferocious, and then I can't block with Courser, so I think I actually have to play a Temple and downfall his Lion, which is kind of unfortunate. And I don't think Courser is really going to get us there. We really need something like a Rhino or a Reaper at this point. So we're going to kill that Lion. This could end poorly, certainly, if our opponent has either a Rhino or a Wingmate Rock, but I don't think there's much we can do. We're just too much on the back foot. And we see that the 5th land, ETB tapped, so maybe he has an untapped land and is just kind of spent. But that's good for us. We get a little turn of reprieve here. So Rhino on top. Definitely going to play out this, gain a life, and I don't want to crack the fetch because I want to draw the Rhino. But I'm certainly willing to trade away Courser here if he does not have a Ferocious Enabler. He has a Courser of his own, which is interesting. You don't normally see that out of these Abzan aggro decks. But that leads me to believe that he's probably playing something closer to BBD's deck with a couple main deck Elspeths. And I'm snap blocking. You can't stop me. And if he doesn't Abzan Charm here, then I don't think he has it. I might be safe to just jam Soul, honestly. And this is certainly the higher risk but higher reward play. But I don't think he has a charm. If he does, I would be very shocked. I'd much rather just have an Heir that's a 4/4 that will Ferocious itself to a 5/5 and be able to attack through the Rhino than have one Heir with a charm in hand. So what is this? Downfall? Okay, so that's not the worst. Gonna take a little beat down here. Our opponent drew a Bile Blight, which is worth noting. And there's another Courser. Okay. So Bile Blight in hand, Lion on top with 7 mana. So we're going down to 5. But we're going to Rhino back up to 8. And then I will likely not block with the Rhino because I don't want to lose it to a Bile Blight. I'll probably put Carrington on a Courser, take the 4, and then see the Unwritten with Ferocious. He has a Downfall on top, so that's pretty good. And then when I see the Unwritten, he's probably going to have to burn Bile Blight on the Rhino. Just to make it so I don't hit 2 creatures. That Downfall is going to give me some trouble, though, I think. Yeah, but maybe he just main phase activates Lion. Okay, so then now we have a clear window to see. And this is right where we want to be. So another Rhino and a Soul of Theros. So we are doing great. With a Soul of Theros in the yard still. So I don't want to get blown out by Bile Blight again. Oh, so maybe we're not... Maybe I should have taken Anafenza instead of the Rhino, actually. I think either way, like the 3 life from Rhino is going to be pretty good. Maybe that was bad, though. Maybe I should have thought about that a little bit more. But being at 4 life... Then I would have to block with all my creatures, so I don't know. I think I still have to block with everything. No, I only have to block 1. Might as well block the Lion. Is that good? Yeah, I think that's good. So 9/2, I'm going to have 2 creatures. And I'm going to have to cast this other See the Unwritten because I don't think Soul of Theros activation out of the yard is going to be good enough. But it looks like he's not even going to Bile Blight, so that's crazy. Oh, and we have a Murderous Cut. That's really good. Okay, so now, if I see the Unwritten, he's almost certainly going to Bile Blight a Rhino. Really shocked he didn't use Bile Blight there, but I guess he felt like he didn't need it. Or maybe he thinks that Hornet Queen is like the only way he can lose. Interesting. But if I see the Unwritten now, he has to use the Bile Blight, I think. He just doesn't. Okay. Reaper Courser. Looks good to me. And then I have no idea what my top card is. So I can safely attack with 1 Rhino, it looks like. And then next turn I can just activate Soul for 1,000,000. And I'm hoping my top card shows up at some point. Okay, Doomwake Giant. So I'm not missing out on a point of life. I think we're doing okay here. He's got a Bile Blight and a Lion, and a Fenza on top. And I should be able to smash in for a bunch next turn. Bunches and bunches. And I'm just going to use Cut on the Heir of the Wilds this turn. This has been a pretty cool game. My deck is doing what it is supposed to, which is fantastic. What are we blighting? My Reaper? I think I'm just going to keep this Doomwake on top to not show him more cards because my deck is kind of weird. But yeah, I should just have lethal with this Soul. So he's going to have to chump with his Lion. And then we'll gain a bajillion D life. So back all the way up to 19, and we still have a Soul. Just how we drew it up. Alright. So Reaper is obviously good. But if we hit an untapped land off this fetch... There it is. Now we are able to Sage and play Soul. Or activate Soul, rather. So he's not dead, but he's pretty dead. Oh, he might actually just be... No, he's not. He has 2/4 toughness things. Well, now he's dead. If he double blocks. You can't double block, man. You're just gonna die. Guess you can put... No, even if you put Lion on the other one, you just can't double block anything. Yeah, that makes more sense. That's... Yeah, that's a fine block, I think. Oh, yeah, I trample over both. No, that's fine. I think the same thing happens no matter what. So now I'm at 36. He's going to Wingmate Rock me, but I can just attack back. Cool. And now we're back up on time. So I don't think it's going to matter in this matchup, but always nice. So last time we missed these Doomwake Giants. Now we got to get these out of there. I don't think he has a ton of Back to Natures because he has his own Coursers, but I'm still going to take out the Whips. We'll get these Caryatids out of here. Oh, that didn't work. The Sage isn't bad since he has his own Coursers. I'm just going to cut them, though. And then what we call it, like a Wayfinder? Wayfinder's pretty good with Wingmate Rock, but it's definitely not good against his Anafenzas. Significantly worse against Anafenza, but I think it's still okay. I don't want that Sage. So I like this. Maybe I only play 2 Thoughtseize. That's probably fine. This should be good. Try out this. Definitely did not think I was going to win that game since we didn't have any removal early, but his Urborg helped us to cast that Downfall, and then we were able to power back with some 6-drops. So it's all coming together, and I love it when a plan comes together. Ooh, and we're playing for first place. We're in first and second. And then if I win and this daily gets posted, it'll be right there for everyone to see, right at the top. It's the little things in life that matter, you know? Poor Justin Uppel lost playing for 4-0. That's too bad. Sorry, buddy. He was probably playing some stupid Abzan aggro deck, though. So serves him right. And this hand is great. This hand is awesome. He plays a kitty cat. I'm going to glare it. If he plays a Death Dealer, I'm going to play Wayfinder. Ooh, Temple. Forest? Do I want Forest? I guess I want Forest. Allows me to actually cast Courser and gets me closer to 6 mana for Soul. So Forest not exciting, but it's good. Certainly run the risk of flooding out. Sand Steppy Citadel. Should probably take Llanowar Waste. Might need that second black to come into play untapped. Might just need my land to come into play untapped in general. This is going well so far. You can see an Anafenza coming down, and there it is. And if that was the case, maybe I should have taken the Citadel, but it's fine. And I'm going to play the Wastes so that next turn, if he does something that I don't want to glare, then I can play Courser. I'm going to take a point of damage, but then I don't have to crack my Windswept Heath, so I can save that to get a little card filtering. Here's an Heir of the Wilds. And we drew all of our planes. So we are running out of lands to fetch. But we hit a Temple off the top because we're the luckiest ever. And we're definitely going to keep this Thoughtseize on top. He's got a bunch of cards. Might Wingmate rock us this turn. That'd be kind of bad. But otherwise, I want to Thoughtseize away any potential Abzan charms to protect the Soul of Theros, because if he doesn't charm it, I can probably run away with the game with it. And now he can't Wingmate rock me, so that's great. He's saging my Courser, though. That's kind of mean. So, what you working with? Charm Elspeth Downfall with 5 manas. And he kept a card on top. Huh. So, if I take the Elspeth, it's possible that he kept a land on top. But if it was any spell, I'd also keep that on top. So I'm not convinced that he just snap kept a land on top. So maybe I don't have to be worried about that Elspeth right now. But my Soul is not going to be very good. If I take Charm, play Anafenza, you could still Downfall that. And then I guess I have a Soul, which would be good. But if I take Charm, play Anafenza, it gets Elspethed. And then he downfalls my Soul. That's not going to be good. But then he's not going to have a bunch of tokens from Elspeth either. So I think taking Charm is still probably right. The only problem is if I play out Anafenza and then Soul and he Elspeths and kills all of them. So maybe that's an issue. What do you guys think? Charm or Elspeth? Let me know in the comments. It is not Downfall. I can safely say that it is not Downfall. I think if I take Elspeth, he might charm my Anafenza. That may or may not happen. I think we should just try and grind through his removal and not worry about getting Elspethed. Because that could end up poorly. And then if the card he kept on top was like a Rhino, we can just glare that and it's whatever. But he kept a Courser, so... Downfall Charm, Lion on top. He's going to play 2 spells next turn. I would snap trade this Satyr for Reclamation Sage. I'm not sure if I would trade Anafenza with Air, though. And it doesn't look like he even wants to offer that trade, so that's kind of interesting. And we're just drawing some more lands here. Don't really want to run out this Soul and get it charmed. But if he just downfalls my Anafenza, I don't like my spot really either. Reaper of the Wilds would probably be my best draw, because it would hold them off and I could keep open Hexproof mana. So overall, I think I'm glad I took the Elspeth. Also have redraws of drawing another Thoughtseize. That would be kind of nice. But definitely going to glare that Lion. That thing is dead. Drew another Soul. Alright, so now what happens? If I play Soul, he charms it, attacks me. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next turn I can glare and play another Soul. And I'm at 5, and I have 2 things, so I guess I have to do that. So maybe I should have just traded this Soul with Charm a while ago. I don't know. So he has Forest Charm. There's a second Urborg, so probably going to float a mana and play it. That's what I would do at least. Yep. And now he's drawing Windswept East. So I know my other Soul is going to live for a turn at least. And that's good news. So now I might be in business. Unless he does some crazy stuff like Monstrous his Lion instead of charming my thing. But I don't think he's that crazy. Alright. Soul is out. He has a Forest left, Heath on top. I'm going down to 5 life, but I should be relatively stable after this. We shall see. Bring that Sage. Bring it. Actually, rather you didn't, because I'd rather have the dude in play for my next Soul. So we have exactly enough lands left to fetch as we have things here. But we're pretty low on life. And we can still use these fetches thanks to the Urborg. He has a Caves on top. Okay. And then a Downfall. So Downfall is definitely good. Attack with the air. I'm not blocking. I can gain 11 next turn. And I don't really care what I draw as long as it's not one of my 2 forests. So I could fetch and lose some life to thin my deck a little bit, but I'm not even going to play a spell that I draw next turn. So what does he have? He has Heath Forest. We're going to write that down before we get too distracted and forget. So I'm taking 2 down to 3. I could go down to 1, gain 11 up to 12. And then he has 6 power. That would put me to 5. But I'd have a Wayfinder, so I won't be dead unless he drew a thing to Ferocious, but even then I would have Soul in my yard. So I think I want to upkeep crack these fetches. Because now the game's getting a little dicey since he has this Downfall, and I want to make sure that I actually have some spells. And I think fetching 2 lands out of my deck gives me more of a chance than saving the 2 life. There's a Courser. So that certainly would have been good had I had those fetches still. And I can't play that Citadel, unfortunately, because I need to play an untapped land. But Courser was definitely a good draw. Elspeth on top for my opponent. That's really good. Especially since I was kind of stupid and took out my Doomwakes. That might have been a mistake. I have no real good way to get through that. Basically need to downfall it, and I haven't drawn one yet. So that's not bad. Could really use a See the Unwritten here. I think that'd be a great card. Opponent's kind of in a tricky position because even if he downfalls my soul, I still can attack him. But if he waits until my turn, I can just activate my soul for free, and then I still have it in the graveyard, so I don't think he wants to do that. I think his best bet is to just kill it right now. And I'm almost certainly just taking the 2 from this air. Don't want to trade Courser. I need Courser to control the top of my deck a little bit. Ooh, a Wingmate Rock. That's really good. That's a good way to beat Elspeth, actually. Oh, and he's just waiting until my turn to kill my soul. Interesting. Or maybe he wants to kill my Courser and Elspeth my soul, but that's a little greedy. Little greedy. Just gonna run the same thing back again. Hit him with all our mans. Yeah, I really don't like him letting me untap. I could see it if he was like trying to make it so I didn't get a land off Courser. And then try to Elspeth away my soul, and then you have a bunch of little guys to block my Satyr, but then this turn just ends up being really bad for him, I think. Now I don't think there's a way for him to not kill my soul. We'll see, though. He's got a couple shots at hitting a good card, so if he finds a removal spell for my Wingmate Rock, I might still be in trouble. Like, I'm going to be left with a bird, but I'm going to have to throw away my Satyr to do that, almost certainly. And then I don't think I'm going to be able to kill him or his Elspeth in time. But we'll see. Him having Courser and Windswept Heath is definitely going to be very good for him. But if he keeps tanking like this, he might not have time for game 3. Yeah, and if he has Sage instead of Back to Nature, maybe I need to do some more whip stuff. Keep those in, maybe. I'm not too brokenhearted if, you know, my stuff dies to a Sage, but it's when you get Back to Nature for 2 or more permanents that it's really backbreaking. But I definitely need Doomwakes against this guy anyway, so I might as well just have whips and like all the enchantments. Although I do like having some amount of Thoughtseizes. Being able to snipe his planeswalkers is pretty good. Making sure he doesn't curve out on me, taking a Wingmate Rock, all those things are pretty good. And Thoughtseize does that well, even though the games go long and it makes for a bad top deck. But oh, come on, man. What's going on here? So deep in the tank, aren't you? I'm going to pause it until he makes a play. Alright, so we have some blocks. Is he just going to take it all? Wow. Thinks he needs the downfall for the Wingmate Rock, apparently. He's not wrong. I mean, I'm certainly not excited that he's going to downfall my rock. I mean, he knows he's safe to play out Elspeth and kill my soul. He can block my 2 creatures. And he's going to shuffle away his Death Dealer, try and hit something better. And it just hits another land. But that's fine. He gets to play that off the top. So it was a question of whether wanted to try to give me the beatdowns with this Elspeth, like kill my soul and just make a bunch of soldiers, or if he could try and play this like slower, more controlling game. And he may have chosen correctly. So opponent currently has Downfall and a Forest in hand. It looks like Elspeth is going to minus. And I guess if I hit an untapped land, I can activate Soul and play Wingmate Rock, which makes my attack significantly less embarrassing. But these ground creatures aren't going to do much anyway. I might just want to... Oh, wow, he's even just making soldiers now. This is wild. Absolutely wild. Heir of the Wild. So he's going to let me potentially get another big life gain chunk hidden thing. So I think if I go attack with Soul, attack with Corsair, he just chumps with 2 tokens. I don't think Heir really wants to block. And I think I want to attack Elspeth with both. Because I don't want him ultimating before I can attack. Well, I guess I'm going to be able to hit it with Wingmate Rock. So if I do this, that might be a little bit better. And if he blocks with Heir of the Wilds, that's a gutsy block. I was expecting to not have to activate Soul this turn. So I see what he's trying to do. I just don't think... I don't think this situation is even that great for him still. This is a crazy game. Nut crazies. But at least now I can Thoughtseize his downfall before I play Rock. So he's going to draw Heath and has a lion on top. So downfall, Forest, Heath. He's just going to play the Heath from his hand. Maybe draw that lion because it holds off my soul. There's an Urborg. So I think I just get to attack with Soul for free here. And I think he has to chump, and then I get to Thoughtseize his... Well, I try and Thoughtseize him. He's going to downfall my Soul, and then I play Wingmate Rock. This game is bananas. Fortunately, can't take his forest. So he's going to shuffle away his lion and draw an Offenza. Almost certainly was hoping for a removal spell there because now I can soul to knock down his Elspeth. And we have a See the Unwritten on top, which is awesome. So I'm definitely sending both rocks at Elspeth, and I think I can get in there with Courser too. Get a little bit more life gain going on. And I figured he was just going to chump anyway, but yeah, maybe he's just going to try and block it down. Oh, that doesn't do anything. Just kill all your guys. I was going to activate the soul anyway. I want to kill that Elspeth. So now do I keep this temple? I don't really need the 1 life. So yeah, that's probably fine. So that line is now ultimate, but my opponent is super low on time. And both my souls are gone, so I don't think I need this Wayfinder. Biolight's kind of cute. I don't think I really care, though. I think I just want a 4-power guy. Reaper, that's a good one. Land off the top. Hello. And we have another See the Unwritten. That's cool. So, could probably deck ourselves before we kill our opponent. This game is going swimmingly. Swimmingly. Bleh. Let's put some more fatties in play. Let's win big here. Siege run. Aw, I should have done it after combat. I would have gotten my raid trigger. I'm so stupid. Oops. Oh, we kill him instead. Bang! 4-0. Beat 2 Abzan aggro decks. Suck on that. And he's sending me a message. Hope it's GG's and not I hate you, you're so lucky. And it was GG. So cool. That was a really good game, really good match too. So 4-0. Beat 2 Abzan aggro decks and a Mardu deck and a Whip deck. So, I mean, come on. Obviously, I broke it. This deck is fantastic. But, no, I mean, like, the deck is good. I think it has some holes. But overall, I like what it's doing. And I set out to do exactly this. And I think I did a good job of it. So, mission accomplished.